Hi everybody, this is Dan Stolebarger. Welcome to this week's KFIR Middle East Update. It's the week of October 5th. Go to our website at holygroundexplorations.com in order to access the PDF PowerPoint that accompanies this short YouTube video. So you'll get much more detail regarding this week in the Middle East with the PDFs. We're just going to highlight the things that we'll be covering this week. We'll begin with some advertisements. We've got a couple trips that are coming up to Israel. We have a hiking trip that's coming up February 16th through the 26th. If you're interested in hiking the Snake Path up to Masada or to the upper ridge of En-Gedi or down to the synagogues of Gamla, or if you want to just trek the Jesus Trail from Nazareth to Capernaum, that's what we're going to be doing on this trip. So if that's something you would like to do, please contact me right away. All right, on that PDF you'll see some information on this tour, and my email address is dan@hgexplorations.com. And then our regular trip, which we call Revealing Israel, is February 28th through March 9th. Again, our website has all the details. If you've not yet been to Israel, this is the trip for you. It's the foundational trip. It's the first timers trip. And we're excited to have the opportunity to take people to the land where it all began, to experience Israel. There's just no words. I mean, there is really no words that I have to share concerning what awaits you when you get off that plane in Ben Gurion. So hopefully you'll pray about these tours, and if it's of interest to you, join us. Please help us get word out about these tours. We find that people that have been to Israel with us or members of KFIR are really our best way to advertise. So help us out, please. Okay, what are we doing this week? We're going to cover some, the Russia situation with the anti-aircraft stuff that they've sent to Syria. There's an article about what's going on, the newest or latest escalations in Gaza, the Syrians and the Golan. The simple truth, something that we need to take a look at because it's the realization, it's the reality of the Middle East peace process. And of course, we'll talk about it's starting to kind of ooze out, Trump's master plan, peace plan, I guess you would say. Interesting that the passports in the United States still will not put Israel next to Jerusalem. There's an article on that. And then some things to ponder. Our headlines, I said, while we were away, Russia delivered this S-300 system over the weekend, despite Israel's objections. Our friend Amir Safardi indicates that it's not going to be that huge of an obstacle, that the IDF has been training regarding this S-300 system for quite some time, but still it's a substantial step up for the Syrians. Donald Trump, again, these are headlines. President Trump, his quote says, "We cannot allow the world's leading sponsor of terrorism to possess the planet's most dangerous weapons." Of course, that's regarding Iran. "We cannot allow a regime that chants death to America and threatens Israel with annihilation to possess the means to deliver a nuclear warhead to any city on the planet Earth." And then right when you think, oh, come on, this whole anti-Semitism, get real, it's not really there, we have Malaysia's Prime Minister, Mahathir Mohamad, who describes Jews, and this is at the UN, as, quote, hook-nosed, Yeah, that was on last Tuesday, and he blames them for creating all the troubles in the Middle East. So there you go. Again, just some highlights. I'll say it again. Make sure you grab that PDF PowerPoint on our website. But with the whole thing with Russia and Israel, Netanyahu, classic quote, he basically says concerning the supply of the S-300 missiles to Syria, he called it irresponsible, and his quote is, "If someone shoots at our planes, we will destroy them." Stay tuned. The Gaza update, there's tensions that are mounting. Lieberman just recently said, hey, to Hamas and the Gaza, better watch out, our high holidays are over. And the IDF chief of staff announced on Thursday that the Israeli military would be reinforcing their troops in the border areas in anticipation of further escalation. You can read more about that. The Golan Heights, as I've mentioned, the Syrian foreign minister took stage at the UN, Walid Mu'alim, and he recently, in this address, accused Israel of supporting terrorism while warning that his country intends to, quote, liberate the Golan Heights from Israel. If you've been to Israel with us, you've been up at Mount Pintal, up on the volcano, dormant volcano, by the way, and had that overlook into Syria, and you understand why Israel can never give up the Golan, and this will become more and more an issue. But again, that's pretty blatant. We're going to liberate the Golan Heights from Israel, and again, that comes from Syria. As I mentioned, the simple truth, just a quote here. The reality is that there will be no peace because the issue is not about land. It's not about the capital of Jerusalem or East Jerusalem. It's not about a green line. The problem is the existence of the state of Israel. That's the issue. And for the Muslims, Islamic, terrorists, jihadists, Arabs, I guess you would say, no matter what they get as incentives, the reality is that there will be no peace until Israel is annihilated. That, my friends, is really the simple truth. I mentioned earlier that the Trump administration is now withholding recognition of Israel's capital on passports, probably for the time being because of this much-awaited Mideast peace plan. A couple other things. I'm running out of time here. We always want to keep this as short as we can. There's an article and just called Things to Ponder, the Trump peace plan. But again, I'll end with a couple quotable quotes for me. And these are the ones that you want to scratch your head and ponder, say law, take some time, think about it. The first from Albert Einstein in regards to what's going on in the world today. Two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe. Einstein. And then with all of this Kavanaugh stuff, I don't know. But the reality is a quote that I think it's wise for us to ponder is that the Bible teaches us not to go around speaking slander or bearing false witness. It would be good if we heeded these lessons, otherwise it may soon be we who are prosecuted. We will be the ones that have our characters maligned. The days in which we're living in are dark and the warfare is fierce. So get on your knees, be in prayer, and remember, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. God bless and Shabbat Shalom.